Hi there. Well, it's so great to be back in the cafe doing a couple of video episodes. You know, the last time we did this, which was before the dawn of time, before the pandemic, we were doing a series of couples who are also working musicians. Some of them they play in the same band. Some people they don't even practice together. But it was a great series. But the pandemic hit, and we couldn't finish it. So now we're going to finish it with a couple coming up. Next time it'll be Stephanie Schneiderman and Tony Furtado. And today we have Jana Cushman and Rachel Ellis of Darkswoon.
Thanks so much for having us.
Darkswoon.
Yeah.
What a great name for a band.
Thank you.
Jeez. And you know what? It's interesting because I know people get caught up in this genre thing, you know? But, you know, I mean, I have here, people have called you goth-tinged post-punk dream pop.
Yeah.
Electronic shoegaze, Elrectrogaze, and a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But I think, and I'm not the first person to say this, okay, but I think the best designation for your music is the name of the band.
Thank you.
What do you think?
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I never really thought so much about genre, you know, as much as everyone else does, I guess. I didn't know what kind of music we were making. I still don't. And I think our next record is going to be, you know, taking us in some other directions too. So we'll see what people come up with for labels. But yeah, if Darkswoon could be a genre, I think it would be appropriate.
What do you think?
I definitely agree with that. I think that it is, you know, it is all of those things and also not at the same time. It's just, you know, it has its own sound to it.
Well, we're going to get to hear that in a minute. Just hold on. Okay, people love these things where I bring a couple in. They just love it because everybody wants to. And any music fan, when they think about it, it's like, wow, what is the dynamic inside this band? And then when you add people in a relationship inside that band, does that like even complicate it even more?
In some ways it makes it easier, but you know, high sensitivities and such, we have to deal with that sometimes. But I feel like, you know, before we were, because I didn't start Darkswoon with Rachel, before we were playing music together, you know, not that I was touring a lot, but like I'd go on tour and, you know, we wouldn't see each other for a while. And now we get to go have those experiences together, you know, assuming we get back to that in the future here, get back to the road soon. Yeah. But, you know, we get to have these shared experiences that are really special playing music together. But, you know, it can be challenging. I mean, I think you said it best. You described like our dynamic as being more natural because we've already established like a good way to communicate within our relationship, and that kind of translates in a lot of ways to the music side of things too.
So you joined the band. Wow.
Yes. I basically just, you know, I stepped in for Jana's former band partner, who, you know, was a friend of ours. You know, we really love Christian, and you know, they were great together. I think it was, you know, my understanding that it was more of a temporary situation for Christian, and then we hadn't, you know, we started talking about the possibility if that might work out, that I could start playing, and I wanted to give it a try. I thought it sounded fun. I'm not, you know, I have a different musical background than Jana, and so I hadn't played music in many years. When I joined the band, it had been a long time, so it was a lot of catching up, a lot of getting familiar with instruments that I hadn't used before, like the drum machines. That was, you know, all new for me.
What had you been playing before?
I just grew up playing piano. Like I was, you know, like familiar with keys, but this is very different. But, you know, it was really exciting and fun for me. It also took some getting used to because I hadn't been on stage in a long time. I was not used to performing. I think that was the biggest thing.
Well, now we have to get used to it again.
I know.
Yeah. How about getting used to it right now? There are 2 songs you're doing for us today.
That's right.
What is this one?
This is, well, they're both going to be off of our next record, which is in the mixing process right now. So hopefully we'll have a release by the end of the year. But this song is called White Moth. It's very much about pandemic times and kind of struggling through that. I wrote it last summer, and yeah, here we go.
Well, that was about death. Wasn't it?
It was. I told you not to say anything. No, just kidding. Like half of our songs are about death.
Everyone would be able to figure it out.
Yeah. White moths symbolize in many cultures like death or disease, even. So it kind of felt like the appropriate title, and it is in the lyrics actually too. So it's kind of
Also, white horses.
yeah.
Yes. Speaking of David Lynch. Okay, so let's think about the words dark and swoon.
Yeah.
Okay, dark, I think we can pretty much figure out. Where does that come from?
Darkswoon.
No, the dark and dark swoon for each of you.
Where does it? Where does it come from? Like, what is it? Yeah, I mean,
Okay, fine. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know.
What is the darkness?
I think of it more as just like having a relationship with aspects of life that a lot of people shy away from. I don't really think of it as like dark, but it's I guess I have.
But that's the name of it.
I have it's an appropriate title, I guess. I mean, Darkswoon. It's like a swelling of like a dark abyss is kind of what that name conjures for me. And it came. I think I told you this last time we talked, but it came to me in a dream where I had a dream that I played in a band called Darkswoon, and I was like, that's a cool name. But I guess my music's always been a little on the darker side, like lyrically. Even when I was in like an indie folk band, just kind of always go to the darker places in the content and writing. I don't think I'm like, a depressing person. I hope.
No.
But it's more what I'm inspired by, I guess.
Are you inspired by the same things? Or are you more of a balance in this situation?
I mean, I think we definitely overlap, but I think, we just kind of have our own interpretation, I guess.
Sometimes I'm too dark for Rachel.
I know.
I get cut off a lot with no more movies. Like I can't pick out the movies anymore.
Well, I mean, I think part of it is I just, I feel like I sometimes like dark things really resonate with me in such a way that I feel, so emotionally vulnerable to it that I can only go down that way, at certain times. Otherwise, it's just like I find it overwhelming.
And therefore, you swoon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing about swooning.
Yeah.
Now, is swooning a particularly female thing, or I don't? It's. I mean, when the word is used, you don't generally think of men swooning. Although I've swooned many times.
Yeah. I guess I never thought of that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. I mean, it might be used that way pretty often, but I guess when I think of swoon, when I think of dark swoon, I think of more of like like a movement of energy, not necessarily belonging to a person, but just, a movement of energy in a dark place. It's like how it happens in my mind. It's free of gender. It's just, it's just kind of exists in the universe.
Well, I think swooning is wonderful. I mean, I think swooning is fabulous. It's I mean, it's like generally you swoon when you're in love, but the adding the dark to it seems to me realistic.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Yeah. I like how you described it too, just like a movement of energy. Yeah, I guess I never attached that.
It's a physical movement to
that
me.
word. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's and the energy of the music, and especially when I first started writing the music, I really wanted to I would do these kind of like noisy swells, and I still do a lot for like connective tissue in between songs. I have this synth engine pedal that I like to crank in between songs, and it kind of like swells out, and that is like Darkswoon in my head. You know, it's more of like a sonic movement than anything. But
well, that makes sense. Yeah. So, so have you settled on Elrectrogaze?
I made up that title as far as I know, and so
It's pretty good.
because I was like, I don't know what we are, you know.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, Darkswoon still is the best, but
Yeah.
So, do you guys practice together a lot?
Yeah.
Like every day?
Not every day, no.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both in school right now,
Yeah.
so our practice times have been greatly reduced. But you know, hoping to do more of that this summer and get ready for some live performances. I don't know.
Yeah. Were you quarantined? You guys quarantined?
Yeah. But you know, being quarantined together was like good. Yeah.
It was. It was like, it's one of the best
Good.
things about playing in a band with your partner, and you know, and also just one other person. It makes quarantine much better because you know we have our studio in our basement. We could always play music. It's, you know, we didn't have to go anywhere, and you know, we could be in a band together and still not be very exposed, just the three of us. So yeah, it was nice.
You do much
I'm
live
fortunate.
streaming? I know you did Oregon Music. Oh, I meant live.
Yeah, we did a couple. We did one for the Crystal Ballroom back in February, and then we did another one for this DJ in New York who does a show called Kale Shelter, which is like basically for vegan goths in music. So she has like a lot of
niche.
it's very like, she was like, I'm running out of people, but we did a live stream for her, and then it then streamed for this international festival, Goths for Sanctuaries, and they were raising money for like animal sanctuaries. But that was it, just the three. It's a lot of work live streaming, you know. I mean, you know, there's a lot that goes into it, and I feel like, you know, everyone's been getting screen fatigue and ready to get back out there. So after, you know, we felt like 3 was good. Like we hopefully stayed relevant, but you know, didn't like oversaturate. And we have a lot of new material that no one's heard yet. So we're excited to get back out there and play some of our new stuff.
Yeah. What will your old fans say when they hear your new stuff?
Oh, I don't know. I hope they like it. Yeah.
It's always a, you know, it's always taking a chance.
Yeah.
If you're growing.
And writing in a void too, you know.
Oh,
which, it's, you know, you don't get that feedback that you would normally. I mean, usually I'm like writing songs and kind of working them out as we start playing them live, and this time we recorded before we really introduced a lot of this music into the wild. So hopefully people like it. It's good feedback so far from some of the folks we've demoed for, but you know.
That's interesting. So that won't be till the end of the year. Have you got any gigs booked yet?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
Well, there's no clubs.
Yeah, I mean, things are opening up kind of fast, and we didn't really anticipate it. We're just kind of, and I know that like a lot of venues are backed up. They have a lot of bookings that they're trying to honor that were canceled. You know, we had several shows canceled too, and I wonder if any of those will come back in certain ways. But we're kind of feeling it out. You know, we might get back into it. We're looking at maybe at the end of summer or fall, but just kind of, I don't know. It's like, you know, wait and see where things go, you know?
Yeah. It's just nice to have the mask off.
It is nice to have the mask off.
Really nice to have the mask off.
And to not have a panic attack every time you go to the grocery store.
Right.
Yeah.
That too. Well, you have another tune.
Yeah, we do.
I heard that because that's how he set it up.
You heard a rumor.
I heard a rumor. And what is it?
Well, you know, speaking of writing in a void, this song is called This Is a Void. And I actually wrote this song kind of before everything fell apart. But it oddly enough ended up kind of fitting with a lot of the things that were going on.
Predictive, was it?
Yeah, a little bit. And it was, it was like mostly kind of like a stream of consciousness. Lyrically, it was like a stream of consciousness, word poem situation, but like it just ended up being like, I don't know, a little prophetic with some of the things that we were gonna be experiencing soon.
Do you write all the lyrics?
Mm-hmm.
That's very dangerous. Dangerous to have a girlfriend who's a poet. You know why? They know too much about you.
Mm-hmm. I've accepted it. It's. I mean.
Well, there are lots of pluses to it, but Okay, so go on. You were.
Oh, I don't know.
We were getting to.
I got really quiet all of a
I know.
sudden.
It's weird. Because you've been found out because you know everything.
No. I feel like, obviously our relationship makes its way into the material because I don't really write songs about specific events. Usually it's just like whatever, like a moment rather than a thing that's happening, so we have a lot of moments together.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. Jeez.
Even more so lately.
Yep.
Okay.
We've made it.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so you're going to do one more tune for us.
Yes.
What is it? And tell me all about it.
Yeah, this is a void.
A void, yes.
Yeah. This is a void. Life is a void. This past year has been a void.
Yes. I wish we could avoid it. Ha, ha, ha.
Good one. Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, it's more about a moment. It was a stream of consciousness and thought, and I mean, it's a bit more intense. I think it's one of the more like straight rock songs on our album, and of course a little dark in content because that's what we do. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
really
you so much
appreciate
for
it.
having us.
Nice to see you again. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And so let's hear the last tune.
Great. Thank you.
This is a void. This is a void. This is time.